1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4.
Gave me courage to believe that all your goodness I would see. And if it had not been for you standing by my side, where would I be? If not for your goodness, if not for your grace, I don't know where I would be today. If not for your kindness, I'll never say I'm still standing. If not for your mercy, if not for your love, I most likely would have given up. If not for your favor, I never could say I'm still standing. By the grace of God. To you I lift my offering and set my heart on higher things. For if it had not been for you standing on my side, where would I be? Not for your grace, I don't know where I would be today. Not for your kindness, I'll never say I'm still standing. If not for your mercy, if not for your love, I most likely would have given up. If not for your favor, I never could say I'm still standing. By the grace of God. I'm still standing. I'm still standing. I'm still standing. By the grace of God, I'm still standing. I'm still standing. I'm still standing. By the grace of God. I'm still standing. I'm still standing. I'm still standing. By the grace of God. If not for your goodness, if not for your grace, I don't know where I would be today. If not for your kindness, I never could say I'm still standing. If not for your mercy, if not for your love, I most likely would have given up. If not for your favor, I never could say I'm still standing. I'm still standing. But by the grace of God.
All right, let's take a look at Still Standing. This song is pretty fun to play, mostly in the bridge section because there's a really cool riff. There's a couple of fills that I want to go over. We don't really need to go over too much of this song because it's pretty straightforward. The verses, you're following a lot of the rhythm with the rest of the band, and same thing for the bridge. But I do want to point out, if you're looking at your chord chart, there is an intro to the song, but it's not written as the intro in the chord chart. If you go to chorus 1 on the first page, and you go to the the bottom of chorus 1, where it says NC over the lyrics, the grace of God. There's a chord progression that starts after that. That chord progression is our intro. So if you just follow the bass notes for that, E, F sharp, G sharp, G, F sharp, F, E, right? Okay, so I do want to go over that section really quick, just because there is a really neat fill that that the whole band does. So it starts off E. So this is the chord progression that we're looking at, the chord chart. It starts off E natural, then F sharp, which is 2nd fret of the E string, G sharp, 4th fret, and then it's just going to walk down chromatically. And it goes G, 3rd fret, F sharp, 2nd fret, F is 1st fret, and then it goes back down to an open E. So for the bass player, this part is actually pretty easy. The chords look really complicated, which they are. But for bass, this is really easy because you're going... Once you get to G sharp, then you're just doing a walk down. Okay. So the next part is the little fill that I'm talking about. And it looks and it sounds like this. Do it one more time slowly. Okay, so the notes are, it's an open E and we're going to hit that twice. The next note, we fret F sharp on the E string, which would be the 2nd fret. And then we hammer on to G sharp, which is 4th fret of the E string. And then we're going to go to our next string and play a B, which is the 2nd fret of the A string. Okay. And then we basically do the same lick, but starting from the A string on B. So it's B hammering onto C sharp on the A string, 4th fret. And then we play an E on the D string, which is the 2nd fret. And that E you play twice. Okay, so this lick comes at the end of that first half of the intro, where we land back on E. So it sounds like this: 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2. Okay. And then, so I just want to point out, when we do the progression the second time, after we come out of that lick, we go to F sharp. When we're walking back down, we go to F sharp. And instead of going to F and the E again, we're just going to go up to a G sharp. And that'll take us right into the verse. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2. Okay, the verse is pretty easy. All you have to do is listen to the track for rhythm. just listen to the track for chord changes and rhythm. So verse is pretty easy. Chorus is really easy. You could just follow your chord track or your chord chart for both of those using the track as a reference. But then we get down into the bridge. I want to take a look at this is on the second page of our chord chart. And the bridge doesn't really have the lick written in. It just has chords, which would be for piano and guitar A minor 7, B minor 7, E. But those chords that are written are just kind of the ending part of the bridge. So I want to go really quick over the riff that we play. Okay, so it starts open E to G, and you alternate those. E, G, E. Then it does a walk up from G to A to B. Okay, and then here's where it gets a little bit more fun. Okay, that run is going between a D on the A string, E on the A string, a G on the D string. So you're kind of going between the 5th and 7th fret right here. And we land on an E. Okay. So up until that point, the bridge looks like this. Okay, and after this part, we start another walk up from G sharp, and it's going to be chromatic. So we're going to go G sharp, A sharp, B. And you could probably finger these, but the reason I like to just use my index fingers because when we get to B, we're going to have to hit an octave up here. And it's kind of hard if you already have your pinky down here to get to that octave. So I'm kind of positioning myself using my index finger so that the octave, so that I can reach it quickly, because it is going to happen pretty quick. Okay, so we'll go to that walk up. Here's what the bridge looks like up until then. Okay, so the next part, we're going to go up an octave on B, up an octave on B, and then we are going to, this is on the D string, so that would be the 9th fret of the D string. We're going to jump down to a G, which is 5th fret on the same string. It's a pretty big jump. But then that's going to go back into this thing. And again, that's between G, E on the A string, and D on the A string. Okay, and then we do a walk up from G again. G, A, B. Okay. D, E, G, E. And then we look at the chord chart and we play those chords. A, B, All right, so I'm going to do the bridge slow a couple of times just so you can kind of see how it's all put together. I know I chopped it up, but I'm just wanting to show you where the notes are and kind of the pieces of the lick, and we'll put it all together slow. So here we go. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. So I do want you to notice that there are two different rhythms that they use for the ending chords on that bridge. There's this rhythm would be 1, 2, 3, 4. Do that again. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, and then the second rhythm would be 1, 2, 3, 4. One more time. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, and if you didn't get that just from this little clip, go back and just listen to the track. Track will really help you out. As a bass player, I like to follow the drummer because I find that the drummer does a lot of the hits and a lot of the stuff that really, as musicians, we should be paying attention to, but we don't always catch if our instrument isn't as rhythmic as like a drum kit would be. So drummers are always really good for the bass player to listen to because they're kind of giving away the stuff that you should be listening for. Okay, so last thing I want to point out is on the second page, there is a chorus 2 that's almost identical to chorus 1 of the first page, except that they added a little tag. So it's not hard to play. I just want to point it out and make sure that you're paying attention to that coming up. It's on the second to last line. They play an A minor, then it goes to E over G sharp, so you're playing a G sharp, to a B over F sharp, your note's F sharp, and then they go back into the intro progression. So it's E, F sharp, G, G, F sharp. They play a B, you could play a B or an F, and then they end on E. And just something to look out for while they're playing this progression, it's slowly just slowing down. The tempo's coming down slowly. So as a band, we all just need to be paying attention to each other and making sure that we are hitting each one of those chords together, even though the tempo is kind of falling off a little bit. And just be listening for the click track and the singers to make sure that we're all together. I went through this pretty fast because there's not a whole lot for the bass player except for that bridge and that lick in the intro. Make sure you practice those things and get them really clean. But this is a really fun song to play. I hope you enjoy playing this song. Until next time, thanks for watching and keep practicing. All right, thanks. Bye.